Let's get to it. Welcome to the Let's Get to It podcast. My name is Ben. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. On this episode of the Let's Get to It podcast, I just want to get on here and let you guys know how I got this inspiration to start this podcast. I've been clean for close to 4 years right now, and ever since I got clean, I just wanted to figure out something different to do. Been rushing back into the neighborhood and getting involved with old friends and stuff like that. So as I started to recover, I realized that as I was recovering, people was helping me, but I just wanted to help other people. So I always had this vision to get the word out to help people, and I said whatever way they start by using a podcast platform. So it took me, pretty close to 4 years to get this vision out. I pretty much just waited because I felt as though if I rushed into putting the podcast out, that I was going to just mess it up. So what I done was I took my time and I just continued to, research and do everything right. So I started out with just pretty much, getting this studio built right here, getting the equipment and starting off and, investing in myself and investing in my recovery. So I just want to put the best footage out so you guys can, I can eventually help you and help someone on this platform to get the help that they need. Now, I pretty much, I started using when I was very, very young. And I've been in and out of different facilities using, and nothing ever seemed to work. But this particular time, I just had a desire to stop using. I just was so beat up, I didn't want to never ever feel the way I felt when I got into detox. So I pretty much, I done some things different this time. I was really serious about my recovery. I started listening. I started following directions, and I started, asking for help. And that was the biggest thing when I started asking for help. And when I started asking for help, I was digging deep and dealing with, all type of traumas and issues that I was dealing with that was causing me to use over and over again. So when I started using those tools and getting with a counselor and was able to sit down with them and let them know what I was going through, that's when I realized how much that I really, really was neglecting myself from the help that I was getting before because I never ever wanted to get that deep. So this particular time when I got out of treatment, I decided to go to a recovery house. And when I went to that recovery house, that was the best thing for me because I had that structure all over again. I was with a bunch of guys that was recovering and they had the same vision that I had. And no matter what, we can't use drugs. And we pulled together as a family and we lived as a family in that recovery house. We've done all type of things together. Went to meetings. We pretty much ate together. And before you know it, some time was going by and I started feeling better. But yet and still, I still knew that I had to be content and going to my meetings every single day, continuing to go to outpatient therapy to get what I needed. It wasn't just, like before I start feeling good, around about the third or fourth week, and I'm like, oh, I'm done. I don't need this anymore. This particular time, I stuck with it all the way from the beginning to the end. And then when I got out of treatment and I started doing the recovery aspect, before you know it, I felt as though I was employable again. So I got me a job and I continued to keep working. And I can honestly say now, I manage a company now that I started working for when I first got clean. So like this process really works. It opens up a lot of doors and, I just been on that journey. But more than anything, I always had the need to help people. So I became the house manager of the recovery house. And when I was in there, that was the reason how I could help people that was just coming in that was new. So every time someone new came in, I always extended my arms out to them and told them it was going to be all right. And as the podcast go on, we'll meet some of them people that I actually helped that's still clean today that can get on this podcast and talk about how I helped them and got them back with their families. Now, this particular time when I was in a recovery house, because I've been in quite a few of them quite a few times. So this particular time, I actually stayed until I was ready. And I stayed in that recovery house until my 3 years. When I got 3 years clean, I decided to move out of the recovery house. And then I came back home. So I pretty much, everything I done this time was different. I took my time on everything. And the most important thing is that I continue to help people in that recovery house. And no matter what, I always just like stop whatever I was doing to be there for them. And there were ups and downs in that recovery house. Some people use, and the toughest thing is when someone come in and they've been using, and then you got to get them into treatment. So I would have to stop what I was doing plenty of times to get them into treatment and get them the help that they needed. But that felt good to me, knowing that when they got back out of treatment and came back to their house, that they could thank me and just say, I appreciate you taking your time in the middle of the night to get up when you had to go to work that next morning to take me to treatment. So those little things like that is what got me to where I'm at today. So I always say to myself, why not try to expand this and put it on a bigger platform? So therefore, how else can I do this other than getting on this podcast and extending myself to everyone that's out there using that I can help? Because there's so many people that needs this help. This word needs to get out to so many people that it's okay to stop and start the detox process. It's going to be rough, yes, but with the help of others, you can get through it. I know for a fact that I did, and my detox was very, very rough. So I got through it, and today, I'm just blessed. Like I just never ever want to look back and feel the way I felt. So I just want to continue to keep on, getting the word out. I want to continue to just like, just be there to extend my hand to anybody that need help. Because, it's so many people that need help with addiction. And it could be addiction from all type of things. You don't necessarily have to be drugs. But however, like a lot of things go on when you're in addiction. There's so many different traumas that happen. There's so many losses. So, I understand that there's like relatives out here that need to hear this message who may have lost loved ones. There's kids that may have been affected. So I want to get this word out to everyone and have a chance to get them onto the podcast so we can talk about these issues. I'm just so grateful, now that I did continue to stick with this process. I got my family back. My family's in my life. My family's continuing to support me. I have a lot of friends now that support me. I get positive phone calls now. I'm not getting negative phone calls where people are like, hey, where's that money you owe me? Do you have this? Do you have that? Threats on my life and stuff like that. That's no longer a part of it. I get calls now where people congratulate me. Hey, I hear you promoting your podcast. I can't wait to see it. So those are the things that keep me going. And I can honestly say, like, through the times, in the last close to 4 years, I really haven't had a problem. Not one single problem because I live every day like I lived yesterday. And that's just to continue to work on myself, continue to recover, continue to just to help someone else out. As long as I continue to do that, things seem to be a lot easier. So I just want to I really want to get the word out, and I want you guys to know that I need your support. I want you guys to, when you get a chance, like, comment, subscribe, and continue to support the podcast. Together we can do this, and there will be help for anyone that needs help, no matter what it is. We can get this message out to people, and we can go out here and do the work to get you guys the help that you need. So please support the Let's Get To It podcast. Let's run these numbers up. And thank you very much.